Okay, so running through cause and effect of the French and Indian War. Um, I'm going to give you all the answers first, and then I'll move them so you have some kind of context here. But I just wanted to talk about each one. So the first one, the French and Indian War debt. So that debt that everybody feels after war is over, that led to Britain having to do something, and their actions that they did various acts like the Sugar Act and the Stamp Act and the Quartering Act, things like that. And then those acts themselves they led to something that the colonists would do next. They would participate in protests, whether it was tarring and feathering or boycotting, but different ways to show their discontent with the acts of Parliament, which led to Britain doing a little something. They issued the Tea Act, and when issuing the Tea Act, they revoked all other taxes. They kept the tax on tea and they made it so you could only get tea from Britain, but they reacted to try to change things a little bit, which led to, as we've studied, that led to the Boston Tea Party. So they decided, well, if you're gonna try to force this tea down our throat, we are going to act by throwing the tea into the harbor and destroying it. That then forces Britain to do something. They That then forces Britain to do something after they throw tea in the harbor. They issue the Intolerable Acts right here. Now, the Intolerable Acts were pretty awful, and as we've studied, nobody really liked them in the colonies. It shut down Boston Harbor. It got rid of colonial government in Massachusetts. It was really pretty awful. And the Intolerable Acts, that then forces the the colonists' hand. So the colonists, rather than just dealing with it, they meet in the First Continental Congress and they debate what is it that they should do. They talk about forming militias. They talk about sending a petition to England to try to get him to change his mind. And then at the First Continental Congress, when that happens, and when King George and the British government, when they get wind of that, they decide that something has to be done. So they send more troops. They send boats and boats and boats of troops to deal with these colonials and get them to succumb to their will. When that happens, you get Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. He goes out to tell everybody in the countryside of Massachusetts that the redcoats are coming. And when that happens, that leads to the militias getting to Lexington Green and to Concord to prepare for warfare. And you get the Battle of Lexington and Concord here, and then that leads to the American Revolution. Now, just to review, to make sure that we have some context here, French and Indian War debt, that leads to the various acts of Parliament. So we'll put that right here. After the acts of Parliament, you're going to get colonial protests. So I'll put that here. The protests lead to the Tea Act and rescinding the other taxes. So we'll put that there. And then the Tea Act leads the colonists to throw tea in Boston Harbor, the Boston Tea Party. The Tea Party leads to the Intolerable Acts, just like this. And then the Intolerable Acts lead to the First Continental Congress that gets the colonists thinking about what they need to do to show Britain they mean business, which then that sends more troops over. The king wants to deal with them severely. When they get wind of more troops coming, that prompts Paul Revere's Midnight Ride that we're about to learn about. And then because of that, we get militias showing up at Lexington Green, and we get the first shots of the American Revolution. We get the Battle of Lexington and Concord, which therefore leads inevitably to the American Revolution. So here are your answers. You can fix yours and keep it that way, but this is what you got.